The only number that I think about is the fit of my jeans.
Good. Okay.
That's my number.
So you know, if I'm an 8 and then I move to a 10, we're going in the...
Then we must...
I don't feel happy in that space. It's fine, but I feel... Yes. Okay.
And I've got clothes across a lot of numbers because I do many numbers. So that for me is where I keep myself accountable to myself.
And I ask this because think, eat, move, track is the philosophy. So Live Fit with Stacey is all about providing you with content and information that helps you find your fit. Through these conversations, I hope that you'll be able to make better decisions in your health and wellness journey and in your fitness journey as well. Today we chat to Pabi Moloi. She grew up in front of South African screens, in front of the camera, and she's also put on weight and lost weight in front of millions of South Africans, and that's what we delve into today. She shares her personal journey. She even touches on the bullying that she's received online about losing weight and putting on weight, but she goes into a spiritual journey, how she's mothering her son differently to how she grew up, and I really think that you'll enjoy this episode. If you do, let me know in the comments the type of content that you'll be looking for and what you enjoyed about this episode as well. So because Live Fit with Stacey is all about helping you find your fit, we've partnered with Salal Nutraceuticals because they have a feature on their website. If you go into salal.co.za, you'll find it. It's called Find Your Salal. All you have to do is input your symptoms, and then Salal will show you a number of supplements that you can use to support your health and wellness journey. Just a reminder though, it is a caveat that supplements are exactly that. They're supplements. They're not there to replace a good foundational diet, and perhaps you should chat to a nutritionist or even a personal trainer to make sure that you're moving consistently as well. Since we've been delving into the topic of mental health, mental well-being, physical health and well-being as well, I've chosen a few supplements that I want to share with you. Chromium aids in carb metabolism and appetite regulation, so you'll often see it in products that help with weight loss or fat loss in particular. Carnitine enhances workout energy and recovery as well. Arginine boosts performance and supports reproductive health. And then Salal has a formulation called Hormone Balance Natural HRT, which assists with PMS symptoms and hormone-related mood and support. And finally, Thyroplex. It supports your thyroid and it aids in metabolism as well. So today's episode was filmed at the Catalyst Hotel in Sandton in Johannesburg, South Africa. These sophisticated apartments, which also serve as a hotel, are perfect for a getaway to Johannesburg, a staycation, or even a business trip to Johannesburg. So definitely check out the Catalyst Hotel in Sandton. You have been in the spotlight, in people's periphery, in front of the camera, always there, since you were how old?
Well, I did my first commercial when I was 4. And then I started presenting when I was 11.
Like, this is all you've ever known. So if you're saying things are not like they were, there's a lot of...
Oh, we're rolling.
We're rolling.
Hello.
This is why I knew I needed to have you.
And welcome.
And welcome to the Pabi and Stacey show. Thank you. We're trying to find, okay, here's the thing about fitness.
Yeah.
In fact, the last time we chatted, I think you wanted me to create a program for you, and that was like 3 years ago.
It's very possible we talked
Time
about that.
flew like this.
Yeah.
Over the years, I've realized it's not just gym. It's not just nutrition.
Yeah.
It's everything.
Yeah.
Conversations about everything come into play when it comes to your fitness journey. It's 100%. And you're obviously going to share your journey with me, because prior to that, I think the last time we had a real conversation about health wellness was in university. And you had tried certain things, and it's so long, and you wanted to try certain things and things didn't work for you, and eventually you found something that works for you. That's the whole point of the show.
Yeah.
Is to share conversation, to share dialogue that helps someone else listen and find what works for them. There's, I hate those interviews now where people are like, what do you need to do to lose weight? And I'm just like, how long is a piece of string?
Yes.
Like, everyone is different.
Yes.
You do need to find the thing that will work when you're at home, when you're traveling, when you're stressed, when you're not. And that takes so much time. It takes so much trying. It takes failure and then coming back again, which you are obviously very au fait at dealing with. But again, you have found something now that has worked for you. I see you moving constantly.
Yeah.
I see you celebrating a little bit more. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Celebrating. That's interesting.
It's not, well, from what I perceive your social media to be is,
Tell me what you
life is like, you got to enjoy the moment. I see that as celebrating, right?
Yeah. I'm more and more like that. Yeah.
Because don't you think the fitness industry and wellness industry, once you start trying to lose weight and stuff, can make you focus on what you don't have, what you haven't yet achieved, right?
And you haven't done enough, and your outfit's not the right one for this gym, and all of that. Yeah.
Like, no one has time for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back.
I don't have time for that anymore.
Let's go back. I think you don't have time for a lot of things nowadays, because that feeds into our conversation about things aren't the same anymore. And I like that you started it off with that. Having been in the industry for this long and in people's faces for this long, what annoys you currently?
This damn industry. No,
I'm just saying generally. Like, what is annoying you and what is setting your soul on fire and setting your soul alight?
That's such a beautiful question. I love that. I'm going to use that as an opening question, because that's really, first of all, I'm not expecting that, and now I have to really think. And I do have to think. I have an 8-year-old. He is a sports machine. Anything he picks up, he gets it right the first time. He just is athletic, and I'm not athletic at all.
Not true.
No, I'm not athletic. No, listen, Stacey, my grandmother came to watch me play netball once in primary school. And afterwards, she took me aside and she said, you know, Pabi, everybody has their talents.
And this is not yours.
It's not yours. Oh my God.
That's just netball.
Anything. I don't even run. Like, I'm not naturally drawn to athleticism.
Do you think that's what delayed your fitness journey or your wellness journey?
I think so. I think there were two things going on at the same time. I was always dealing with mental health, depression.
Yeah.
I've always had that since I was a kid. And the doctor would say, "No, just run. You feel sad, you just run.
Just go exercise."
And I found that to be so egregious.
Yeah.
So it even put running even further away from what I want to do. So he hit my son, his sport, that, you know, I'm obviously the Uber driver for all of these sports.
And it adds up, eh?
Yeah.
It adds up like quickly.
But we don't talk about that because we asked them to come here and
we want them to do that. You want,
Dance Lala. So there we go. My Lala plays, his sport, and I enjoy that very much. I enjoy watching him. I enjoy watching him grow. That sets my light on fire.
Yeah,
I love it so much.
Yeah,
and you also make really terrific moms and a gang of moms, and so that whole thing has opened up a whole other world for me. I think what annoys me at the moment, and always has annoyed me, is people with a sense of entitlement over you, over the space, over time, over your dignity, over people who have a sense of, I made you, so I'm the kingmaker. I find that to be...
Do you still encounter those people?
Yeah. I was told maybe 6 months ago, well, I made you.
No.
And I looked in this man's eyes and I said, I've had a career for 20 years before I even knew you. Before I even knew you. That means you were a kid when I had my career.
That's like you made him. So, like you set a foundation for...
made me?
Yeah, wow.
No, all this other nonsense you want to talk, yeah, we can talk that. But you made me? No. And it shows me what kind of person you are, right? If you walk around thinking that you can make people and you can break people and it's your desire to be destructive like that, I think on a human level, that's really trippy. Like, what
disturbing
happens to you that you are like this? And I am finding, because our resources in South Africa are not what they used to be, more and more people are finding themselves in that place. More and more people want to gorge everything. And it doesn't matter who gets hurt, as long as me and my family get my own. And I'm finding that quite scary as a nation, as a world, really. It's not just us. That people people are not people anymore. And it's more than aggravates me, it scares me.
It's funny that you say that. I think I was saying to my mom a few weeks ago, because we experience load shedding so often and lights are not working, traffic lights are not working as often, I find traffic psychology very interesting.
Tell me.
I find like how people slow down underneath a bridge, bottlenecks in traffic. I often ask myself, like, do we really need to be stuck in traffic for an hour to get to work? But where I find it particularly interesting is when lights are not working and we're all meant to look at one another and go according to our turn. And how so few people can do that. And that by making a decision not to stick with your group or not to go at the right time, you then start jeopardizing. There's a ripple effect of jeopardizing. And isn't that a metaphor, an analogy for what you're talking about now in life, right? There's this lack of consideration, empathy, just trying to think about what someone else would be, how they would perceive it. Do you think that are you more aware of it because you've done so much work on yourself? You've done so much soul searching. You've done so much mental, emotional, physical rehabilitation. Do you think that's why it's particularly egregious at this point in time?
I don't know. That's a very interesting. You are so good. It's because it's happened to me twice in a row, encountering humans who are like that. That I've never really encountered humans who are that way before. So now my eyes are open and I'm seeing it everywhere else. Because I think, as much as I have done work on myself, you go out and you expect the world to be as you are. And I am a certain way, and I think, okay, the world will be a certain way. And I'm realizing now at my big age, it's not. It's absolutely not. And they're all just waiting, or whoever's just waiting. There's always someone waiting behind the plant to jump out at you. And maybe that's the work that I need to continue doing, because I think I'm in a time where I'm very, very isolated and shut off deliberately. I don't want too much of any external influence in our lives. I don't want it.
When did that did it change? Were you generally speaking always like that because you were thrust into the spotlight at such a young age?
No. I've always had friends, done things. I've always been an introvert, though. So I would rather.
It's nothing that I would say is, oh, I never saw you like that. You strike me as the type of person that is, as much as you're friendly, as much as I call people like you extroverted introverts.
Right.
That you have no problem being around people, but you recharge being by yourself. You need that time to recharge.
And so maybe I have always had that element. But now as you grow up and, weirder things start happening, I really keep my mental health, my physical health, my family, my safety, my everything as closed off
as
possible, and yet as open as possible to understanding people, because there's no real judgment here. Understanding people, and also bringing people into my space who I understand, who need what only I can give.
Did that change before or after becoming a mom?
A lot after becoming a mom. Absolutely. I was always a very self-protective person. I imagine it like a tiger or what's the black one? Jaguar.
There's also a panther.
And well, you know, all of the big cats. And I've always felt like that. I've always felt like if I'm going to sign a contract, if I'm going to get into a job, I embody that.
That's actually a great spirit. I mean, I don't know you that well, but I feel like I know you, but obviously we've never really had deep conversations, extensive conversation. It was always like
bumping into,
but also getting you. Does that make sense? You can bump into a lot of people in this industry and you know off the bat that you're never going to connect with them ever again. And then you meet certain people and you're just like, I don't know them, but I like them.
Yeah.
I don't know them, but their energy is right. I don't know them, but their spirit is right. Like, does that make sense?
Absolutely.
But I think that's a great spirit. Like, that's a great group of spirit animals for you because that is
the same about you.
Really?
Otherwise,
you wouldn't be.
Sorry.
Exactly.
Gotta tell you the truth.
I felt that. I totally felt that. Like, no, I know. I totally know. I felt what it needed to be. I feel so appreciative.
But you know what I mean? And you probably wouldn't invite somebody along.
No
matter their fitness journey.
Yeah.
Because of what we're talking about. So yes, so after becoming a mom, I think that Panthers grew even stronger. And because I have one job on this planet.
Yeah.
That is it.
Yeah.
So thrust into the spotlight, 11 years old,
really
doing an
matter.
advert. I have one job on this planet.
Is your son doing any like commercial stuff?
I would never. Let him. Even if he wanted to, I'd be like,
nah.
No. You can't.
Was that a decision that you made?
Long time ago.
Okay, I'd imagine that.
I won't let my kid. I don't think that's normal.
Why do you think so?
Because you are a kid who should experience kid-like experiences, which do not include, may I have your autograph?
Sure.
Now it's probably, may I have a photograph? Well, even if they say, may I? Give me a photograph. Get on my TikTok.
Kabelo Mabalani told me he was in the airport and the lady just like literally pulled him, like physically pulled him, took out a phone and took a picture. And he was like, what? Like, since when is that okay, you know?
And I think as a small child, that is not okay. It's not normal. And there are some kids who want to be in the spotlight. I was that kid. So nobody pushed me to do anything. I was that kid. I wanted to sing every song, do every speech. We went to a Catholic church. I was going to get on there. No matter what, I was going to find a way. And that was just how I was. And if my child was like that, then, you know, we'd explore options.
Okay.
Of course. You can't lock them up in a room.
Yeah.
But I feel so grateful that he's not at all. He doesn't
have a desire.
No.
Do you think you should have being more protected, supported as a child star? Like, do you think, because no one really knows how to handle the fame that you went through, right?
Yeah.
Your family, your friends, your support network, your social circle. If you look back upon it, and especially now that you're looking at your own child through this protective lens, what would you have changed? What would you have done differently what would you have shared with the people around you to help you through that process?
I have no idea.
Because it's not an easy thing to navigate either way. There's the benefit of retrospect, right?
Yes.
But that's ifs and buts and should have, could haves.
And we just don't know. We just don't know.
And I only asked this question because I watched Emma Sadler give an interview about, there was a case recently and the case details slipped my mind, but basically, a youngster, I think under the age of 15, getting a young girl to reveal herself to him and then taking images and then sharing those images. And Emma Sadler obviously having the conversation around,
safety online,
that this is illegal,
Yes.
that like children don't understand this. This is the new thrust into the spotlight.
This is it. This is the new bullying.
Exactly.
And that's really sad.
And you have TikTok stars. I mean, I know of someone in my circle of influence who's still in school and paying for their rent because they make money on TikTok. So that's YoTV, KTV, Roxy Burger. That's your guys. That's what you had when you were younger.
Yeah.
It's a new version of it.
I did not enjoy it. I liked what we did because, as I said, that was my wheelhouse.
You were born for it.
I love doing it. I actually was born for it. I love doing it. But there are other things that I also love that I've never done because I kind of fell into this bracket. So TV, radio, and whatever else became where I landed. But I studied music. I wanted to do musical theater. That's actually where I want to be. And so, yeah, it just
You've never done a panto or something like that?
I haven't.
I totally see you doing that.
I need to phone them immediately.
Joburg Theatre, right?
Oh, yeah.
I can so see you in a pantomime, yeah.
And I chose what was a bit safer. I am Capricorn, so, radio has part longevity in it. You can be there for 2, 3, 4 years at a time. So I chose all of that. But that's good that I chose all of that because now I'm safe. I'm protected financially, so it's fine.
Yeah. So important.
Yeah.
All the good stuff.
That's fine. But to go back, I don't know how to explain it.
Okay.
Because kids must be kids. Even the social media kids of today, I don't like it.
Okay, but
I don't like it.
You wanted to do this as a kid. I was very similar, but I didn't have any opportunity when I was younger. So I did. Funnily enough, I'm at SABC now, and I did. Do you remember when it was TV1, TV2,
yes,
TV3, and then it changed to SABC? I was like one of the kids in that ad, like that first ad, but that wasn't really presenting or TV or anything like that.
Sure.
And I always had many an adult say, "Oh my gosh, your daughter," to my parents and to me, "You should be on TV and stuff, TV, whatever." It never, like the opportunity only came after university to get into television.
How come? What was happening that the opportunity wasn't coming?
I have no idea. Because it's not like I didn't try. I think there were like presenter searches and all of that, and I did try. And at one point in time had resigned myself to the fact that maybe this is not for me. Maybe I'm not good enough. Wow. Maybe I'm not talented enough, or whatever the situation was.
How did that feel?
No, it felt horrible because I definitely felt like it was a space that I needed to be in, which is why I'm asking you the question around this conversation of your son, you younger Pabi, because my parents believed in me, but I had a younger special needs sister.
Okay.
And it's very taxing to have a special needs child.
Yes.
Mentally, emotionally, the capacity that you want to give to all your children as a parent with more than one child is already, strained.
Yeah.
So now to have a kid that special needs, they loved the fact that I was very self-sufficient. They loved the fact that I could look after myself, entertain myself, but they did not. They tried. They did take me for the odd casting year or there, but they just didn't have the capacity to push the Stacey should be on TV or Stacey, you know what I mean? And maybe it just happened, like God, it happened at the right time.
I'm sorry.
No, not at all, because now I look back and I think, okay, maybe it's exactly what you're talking about. Maybe I did have enough of the childhood elements
to just be a kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because and I asked this because we had this conversation in university, actually.
Did we?
Where I was like, Pubs, can you really be at varsity and just enjoy varsity like the rest of us?
I don't know what I said.
I think I recall you saying that it was, Tsidi was there, actually.
Yeah.
It was the three of us and there was someone else. And I think you said something along the lines of you have to actively manage it. Like, I have to actively enjoy this university experience for what it is. Which was such a mature thing.
So you have to actively...
Who says that?
What did I say? You have to
actively manage being in this university experience because everyone knows who you are. Like, we were at Anirand. Do you remember that?
Of course, Annie Brand.
people would walk past you on a regular basis and be like, that's Pabi Moloi.
Yeah.
They wouldn't come and say hi to you because maybe they weren't sure, but some people did. But I just recall like chatting to you about it and being like, yo, girl, like we all get to just be anonymous in a way, and you're not, and yet you are here. You chose to be here. You didn't choose to do this online or via distance learning or anything like that, you know? And you said you had to choose.
Otherwise, where will I go? I can't go anywhere. So if I want to go in my schluffies, in my tracksuit, down to the store to buy something, I'm going to do it because that's my area. That's my hood.
Yeah.
I'm not Princess Pabi who's always made up and always wearing heels. I couldn't do that. So yes, I had to actively manage. If I want to go do karaoke for my birthday, I'm going to do it. I'm not scared of who's going to see me, how they.
Was that a decision you made alone? Was that like, I'm going to do this, or did you?
I think it's because I still had to go to school. So Stace, I'm still in a biology class with other people. I can't be something
That
different.
I'm not, yeah.
No one cares what I introduced on KTV yesterday. I have to pass this exam.
Yeah.
So I think you have to make that choice of, okay, I'm a human person and I just happen to have
a skill and a talent that is very different to my friend that's a netball star.
Right, exactly.
Or my other friend that's top 10 in academics or whatever. Were you quite smart at school? Like
I was, but I was never like top 10, always in the 80s. But I was very smart. I could listen very carefully and then talk a lot in class.
Okay, that doesn't surprise me. And mind you, I wasn't even planning on asking you this. It's just like, it just came like, that's where the conversation was obviously going.
Yeah.
But so you've spoken a lot online, women's health, all of that, about depression, mental health. And you just mentioned it earlier on. And it struck me that you said you've actually experienced that from way younger.
Yeah.
Tell me more. Was it a sense of heaviness? Do you consider yourself an empath? Do you feel so was it that and you just didn't understand your superpower?
Yeah. And I didn't know. I think it's a lot of those things. No, open. It's a lot of those things. I felt for people, but I also felt for myself because, you know, I'm in school and all of this is happening to me and, you know, I'm getting teased and whatever. And I don't think that depressed me. I think I was born like, not sad, but I was born almost too open. That I felt everything. I could feel
too much.
everything.
I can identify with
I could feel my mom's distress. I could feel when my grandfather got ill. I could feel
like it's
what's
visceral,
going
right?
on in the girl's life who suddenly doesn't want to talk to me. And so she swears at me and I just, okay. Because I can feel something's not okay with her. I felt everything.
And you felt both sides. You felt her confusion, why she would do this, and why
she take it out on absolutely.
Yeah.
That I just happen to be in her face right now and it's just convenient. I felt everything and I couldn't let it go. I couldn't shake it off because I had my own things to feel. But yeah, that was really tough. And I don't think my parents understood anything about mental health,
Listen, babe, we come from the generation where there were very few of our parents.
Those people had no
They were dealing with their
idea.
trauma and they were allowing generational traumas to continue, patterning to continue because they didn't know how to deal with their own.
But also we didn't have as much access to resources as we do now, you know? So I had to let this go over the last maybe 4 or 5 years, this real forgiveness of my parents and my family that, you know, for them, you've just got to be strong. You've just got to carry on. If we're running, we're running. Who cares if you're depressed? We're under this Hippo and the cops are around us. They've got their own issues. And then I'm here because I feel, or everyone's
You
feeling
did this to me,
like,
and I need to have a conversation
come on.
about it.
So,
Did you have a conversation when you did the work of forgiveness?
yes.
Was it through conversation with them, or was it just your own internal work?
No, there was conversation.
Amazing.
There was conversation. It's interesting. My mother now sends me WhatsApps and she says, this is about learning how to let go. This is about speaking positively in my life. And eventually this weekend, I said to her, you know that I used to send you those things in 2000.
This is going to happen with your son, though, just by the way.
You know, I know this. No,
I'm the one that sent it to you.
And
My
she's
mom
like,
did that to me the other day. She's like, I heard this conversation. I was like, Ma, I sent you that conversation.
Exactly. So they just very much weren't equipped because they were very, as everyone was in South Africa, but in our family, there is a lot of Mkhonto weSizwe and ANC. And so there was a lot of trauma within our family, a lot.
Sure.
And I then, like you, I could always entertain myself. I love to read. I love to make stories up. I recorded little radio snippets, and then you have the record and play, and you've got to get that off the radio because it's your favorite song. I had all my own things going on, and so I dealt with a lot of things by myself.
It's still maybe neglect is a too heavy a word, but it is a sense of abandonment.
Even that I find a bit heavy.
Is it too heavy?
Because of the intention. I don't think the intention was...
It's not to abandon you, but it is...
They just didn't know.
No, they didn't know. And I agree with you, but from your perspective or from someone else's perspective that experiences that, because it took me a while to... You see, it's the empath in you or in us that would not want to say that because it is quite heavy to understand that. I interviewed a clinical psychologist, Mark Kahn, and he explains, it's so difficult to repeat it, but he's basically saying that when parents do certain things, it's almost a violation of a child's self-esteem. And they're none the wiser. He didn't even use the word violate. He said, you're raping a child's self-esteem. And he said, but two things can be true at the same time. It can be both heavy and you can understand that wasn't the intention. I think we're just living in a world where everything is so polarized. When you say this, it's like, oh my gosh, how could you say that? But at the same time,
we strive for perfection. And so we're going to make mistakes because we're going to burn out. We have to just be and balance and tolerate and know who your kid is. So maybe I have so much compassion now because I'm a parent and I know he's going to sit there with Mark Kala one day in his therapy office.
About his mom.
My mother was always with me. I couldn't get away from that woman. Or whatever his issue is, I know that that's going to happen. Because it does, right? But I do everything I can not to. And for him also to see the repair between my mother and I.
Yes, that's beautiful.
Because I think that's quite important.
Well, also because I think it's important for the next generation to make new mistakes.
Yes.
So it's not that I won't make mistakes as a parent or whatever the situation is. You just don't want to repeat the same mistake from the past because the conversation was never had or it was never dealt with. Now, I ask all of this because it's so important to health. My coaching model with my clients is always think, eat, move, track.
Okay.
And I've seen it work time and time again. Someone comes in and they say, I'm trying to lose 10 kgs, 5 kgs, body fat, whatever, for a wedding, not for a wedding. Doesn't really matter.
Yes.
Most of the time, it's never really about what they do in the gym and what they eat.
Okay.
Like most of the time, it's about these conversations where I say, go and find a therapist because I'm not a qualified psychologist or anything like that. But just in having, I actually had a friend who had quite a severe like sexual type experience when she was younger, and because of that, she put on weight because she felt that it was a protective mechanism, and it's the only way we're only starting to understand that really now. The science is starting to catch up.
I felt a lot of that.
Did you?
I felt a lot of that. Towards 16, 17, 18, I felt it the most.
That your weight was a barrier?
Yeah.
That you wanted to have?
I needed to be safe. I needed to be safe in there.
What was it rooted in at that point in time? Did you?
This is the thing. I must have experienced something. And I can't.
You don't know what it is?
I don't know what it is.
Have you ever wanted to know what it was?
Yeah.
So you've never done like hypnotherapy? Or,
no, not yet.
Or
EDMR. That's what I want to do next.
Yeah. It's so funny because this psychologist, I had a recurring nightmare from my childhood about looking after my sister and being like the only one to take care of her, not knowing where my family is. It was this, like it was every month I would have it at least once a month. And then I did BWRT. No, and you're not supposed to remember your dreams, and I remembered every specific detail of this dream. And I did this BWRT therapy, which is like breathing, going back, reframing it. After I did that once, I never had the nightmare ever again. Again, a reminder of how our health is like, you cannot separate all these things. It's not about I exercise 3 times this week.
So is that think?
That's think.
That's
like really zeroing in on what we believe about health and wellness.
Yes.
Limiting beliefs, positive beliefs, whatever it is. Many people don't address that. So you hear things like, I'm big boned, I'll never look that way.
Sure.
I know that my family will never have that type of a body, or I've had the kids, so I know that this baby weight is going to take a while to shake off. We latch onto those ways of thinking that become our identity.
Mine is, I was always compared to my mother. My mother is extremely beautiful and was always extremely lean and just like a queen. My mother is so beautiful.
Yeah.
And then it would be not out loud, but this glance at me like, Shem, and then what happened to you?
Ooh.
Okay, And so as a joke, and I still make that joke, is that, well, I got to develop a personality.
Yeah. I was like, I'm the clever one.
Exactly. So I understand what you say. You create something around you, and that's what you think, and you've got to either shake it off or therapy it off. And you find a way.
Everyone says you have to develop a lifestyle when it comes to health and wellness. It's always like everything in moderation. I hate that phrase, everything in moderation, because your moderation moderation is a very difficult thing to measure. Everything in balance, hate that phrase as well. It's more about harmony in my mind, right? And people will say, and you can let me know what was shared with you or what you thought about when you were embarking on your journey initially, and we'll go into what really tipped the scale for you. Because people will say, everything in moderation, you've got to make it a lifestyle, but these are the things that prevent it from being a lifestyle, a long-term thing, because you stay in a negative loop, a negative cycle, and you don't know where the root is. So you'll lose the weight. Many people will be able to identify with this. They lose the 5 kgs, it comes back. They find more and more extreme ways of trying to lose the weight, and they go through this loop because of these things. Sometimes it's not even very obvious. It's not directly linked. It's not like, oh, I'm keeping this as a barrier. I need to deal with why I'm keeping this as a barrier. It might seem like completely unrelated as well. So I find it fascinating. Did you do this work before you started losing weight, or as we look at the think pillar? I know, because you've made it a lifestyle.
You've taken me way, way back. I think maybe at about 18 to 23, maybe a little bit older, but in that space, I did a lot of therapy. I was in a lot of therapy.
Okay.
And I had a psychiatrist who worked along with my therapist, and together they concocted a cocktail of medications for me.
Okay.
And I was somehow very good with taking my medication all the time. And I did that, and I saw the psychologist, and and I'm also the type of person who, I'm in my head so much. So the therapist is going to tell me, and I'm going to go, I know, because I do.
It's like you already know what you need therapy for.
Yeah. Yes, I've thought that too. That might not be an option. I've thought about it, which might be very difficult for psychologists. But, if you are in your head a lot, you've thought out every single scenario already. So I was on my medication for a very long time, and that ballooned me something like 20 kilos in
antidepressants,
3 and 4 months. It was unbelievable. So I got to about 25, 26, and I got onto Strictly Come Dancing. And I was hosting it with Mark Lottering. And there was a lot of back chat about my weight. And it was just like, oh my God, I don't want to put that into the ether. Just people speaking about my body.
Yeah.
And so this was a lot of chemicals in my body that had got me to that place.
Yeah.
So I found a doctor who was willing to, as an MD, do what he needed to do, but also as a person and perhaps someone with a leaning towards psychology, to talk to me. Talk to me about what's happening, what's going on, how's this, and blah, blah, blah. And then also, before Ozempic was a thing, some of us knew about it.
Yeah.
And because it was so chemicalized, no diet was working. I was being weaned off those medications.
Yes, yeah.
And so he gave me a medication.
Okay.
And after that, I carried on exercising.
So that's the key, right?
Yeah. I carried on exercising. And it's also because I found that in exercise, I can't really think so much. It's physical. You've got to get into it.
You have to switch that ruminating part of it.
Ruminating comes back. You have to pull and push to get it out. And it was very physical. And I enjoyed that feeling so much. I'd never known, because I never did sport, how wonderful that feels.
Yeah.
And so I got addicted to sport. And
what type of training were you doing?
Not sport training.
What type of training? Because you did do Sweat 1000 and HIIT and all of that at one point in time. But what did you most enjoy, and what did you settle on? Like, what's working for you now?
I would just go to the gym, man. I would.
Would you look for your own programs, or did you get a personal trainer to do something for you?
I did both.
Okay.
So I tried all the classes. I loved Pilates.
Okay.
I still love Pilates, but I love the Pilates on the machine.
Reformer and okay.
And I always believe that Pilates took my lower belly away because it's just so incredible. And then I'd run on the treadmill, and I
did you enjoy the running?
No.
But you did it because of how it shut the brain off.
No, my brain's still on during running. I don't like to run.
Which exercise shuts the brain off the most for you?
When I lift weights.
Ah, interesting.
So there's a choreography around what kind of circuit I want to do.
Okay.
And then counting the numbers, getting into, can I get heavier? What does this feel like after that? That shuts my brain down.
Amazing.
Completely. So I've had many personal trainers, and so many. And
why so many? What did you not like? What's a good personal training fit for you now that you've gone through so many personal trainers?
I'd have a trainer. Well, I would have a trainer now because I have a specific kind of goal that I'm thinking about.
Okay.
That I wanted to do just as I found out that I was pregnant. So we'll talk about that. A personal trainer who, I'm a chatty cat, don't chat.
Okay.
Because then I'm going to stop and we're going to chat.
Yeah, and you're not going to get your training session in.
I don't want, you can do it, come on, get up, you can do it.
Yeah.
I'm
not that type. I also don't enjoy that.
Stop it.
Yeah.
So often what I really enjoy is I know today this is what I'm going to do, and then I go do it. And they don't have to be there. I just need
like you in the periphery, they in the periphery, you in the periphery. They there, they're watching your form. If you're going off, but they're not as hands-on and as involved.
So maybe that's what I was talking to you about. Build me a program.
Yes.
Because there's X, Y, Z that I'm seeing that is not going away.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to do it in the gym. So please show me how. That's what I want. Please show me how. And then I'm going to go in and do it. And I don't cheat. I won't stop at 10 if I'm meant to go to 15.
So you see why I think is so important.
Yeah.
Because someone that ruminates a lot, I would never want them counting calories.
I can't count calories. That will make me nuts.
It will drive you crazy.
Yeah, I can't do it.
And there's so many people that do go that route. I want to lose weight. They tend to be ruminators. They tend to think a lot. They tend to obsess a lot. And then you go and do something like counting calories and constantly trying to be in a deficit. It makes them neurotic. They start focusing on the wrong things. They spiral out of control. They cry
even
when they haven't.
It's like in deficit. Did you wait? And then like, are you your macros or your micro?
Yeah.
I would never.
So how did you approach your eating? Because the medical approach to weight loss does help a lot with that, and you carried on training.
Yes.
Was your appetite suppressed? Were you not really that hungry, and so it was easier for you to eat less, or what did you do initially?
I just ate because I can't do all of that. I can't look at a plate and think about a handful of carbohydrates. I can't.
But were you eating less?
So I was eating less.
And exercising more consistently?
Yeah.
Was that easy to do once you had seen the doctor? That
definitely
approach to just eating less?
For that period that I was with the doctor, absolutely.
Because prior to that, were you binge eating? Were you doing anything like that?
Eat,
okay.
And this medication was hardcore. Like I'd find myself on the floor eating rolls from the freezer.
Like another person is doing this, has hijacked your body, right?
It was really nuts.
Sure.
But a lot of binging and also the wrong things. So like I don't mind a bit of junk food here and then, but not every day, not even twice a week or month.
How do you handle that with your son?
Pardon?
How do you handle that with your son?
I tell him.
Because there's school and there's friends and there's parties and there's all of that. What's the framework, nutritional framework that you've set up in your family basically to ensure that he doesn't go through what you went through?
Yeah.
In terms of a relationship with food.
So my mother lives with us.
Okay.
And so we eat vegetables, we eat very healthy food, we eat...
And she was always like that, right?
Food.
You saying that your mom was always lean. Was it always easier for her to manage her? Okay.
I don't know.
It's interesting.
I don't know. But she had this number. Oh, my mom, shame, poor mommy. And maybe there was a lot of pressure on her because she was also on television, right?
Yes.
But she had a number and she was like,
what she needs to weigh.
Yeah, I need that number.
Wow.
And if I'm anywhere near a scale, that number still comes to mind. So I don't do that with him.
Okay.
I don't complain about the size of my jeans. I don't...
You mean around him?
Around him,
You don't have that rhetoric and that narrative around...
No,
okay.
we just eat healthy food.
Okay.
And sometimes mommy eats a little bit less, but you eat until you're full. And also when we don't eat junk food, it's because we love our bodies. We want to put the best thing into our bodies, right? Every now and then we'll have a secret something together. But this may be right, this may be wrong, but I put it into his mind that he's an athlete.
Okay.
He's got to look after his body because training can only do so much.
Yeah.
And I know you're dedicated, but you've got to also make sure that you give your body what your body needs.
Does it resonate with him?
Yeah.
And because then he takes ownership of it. A friend of mine used to say that she did that with the kids, and then they would go to parties and they would eat all the junk food that they're not allowed, but that they don't really eat at home. And what they started doing was coming home and saying, Mom, I had this, but I don't like how it makes me feel.
Yeah.
So she never then, after that, she never had to control their diets, tell them not to eat something, or make sure what was being served or catered for at the party. They self-regulated their own nutrition.
Yeah.
And that's powerful because it's just talking to them. It's just they're smart enough to understand that. And that's why I asked the question with you, because you obviously didn't have those skills. You didn't know to have them. Your parents didn't know to share them. And it probably would have been a framework that would have assisted you. But it's great that you found a way to share it with your son.
Thank goodness.
And
because he now says, I don't drink fizzy drinks.
He does that on his own?
So the drinks at a party will come up and he'll say, I don't drink fizzy drinks.
Does he see his training as exercise?
No.
Okay.
No.
He just didn't.
Not as far as I have watched and imagined him, no.
What else did you add over the years that has kept you consistent? Because you've dropped, how much have you lost in total?
I don't really know. Maybe
because has it fluctuated much, or did it fluctuate in the beginning a lot?
It's fluctuated, not too much, but it has fluctuated. The only number that I do think about is the fit of my jeans.
Good. Okay.
That's my number.
So if I'm an 8 and then I move to a 10, we're going in the...
Then
I don't feel happy in that space. It's fine, but I feel... Yes. Okay.
And I've got clothes across a lot of numbers because I've been many numbers. So that for me is where I keep myself accountable to myself.
And I ask this because think, eat, move, track is the philosophy. Track is how we measure. We can't change what we don't measure. But people think tracking is getting on that scale, but it's not necessarily the case. It is, I like this jeans to fit this way.
Yeah.
This is my favorite size 8 jeans. It's no longer fitting this way. That's the way I track whether I'm putting on too much or whether I'm losing too much.
Yeah.
It could be a favorite dress. Another way of tracking could just be I'm so in tune with my body. I feel how much more lethargic I am when I eat too much gluten. It's not to say that you're taking out gluten completely, or it may be that you need to take out gluten completely because that's when you're the sharpest mentally, emotionally, you have good sleep. There's other ways of tracking our wellness journey. Yeah. What did you use to keep yourself on track?
I think that's so wonderful to think about that way. For me, it was always the fit of my jeans.
How did
Not even pants, jeans. I don't know why.
No, I'm like that as well.
Jeans?
Like, especially if it's your favorite pair of jeans. And when you see it fit well. It's true.
I'm rocking my jeans. And if they start rocking me back when I'm sitting down, I'm going to have to start thinking about it,
What did you do to manage your eating in the industry that we work in, waking up, being on shoot, being on set?
So I don't eat in the morning.
Okay.
I don't eat at all.
As intermittent fasting? Or just,
no,
it's never been
It's just never been the way I am.
Okay.
So I'll have my 2 coffees.
Okay.
No sugar.
Milk?
I had to train myself to get there.
So did I, actually. Yeah, it took me a good 2 years.
But milk, definitely.
Okay.
And then, or cream.
Nice.
That's my 2 coffees. And then I won't eat. And maybe at about 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, I'll eat.
And your energy is good?
My energy is good, generally.
Okay. Yeah. Doesn't dip or anything like that?
Not really.
Okay. And shakes, smoothies, things like that?
I'd love to do it, but I'd love someone to come and
do it for you.
For me.
Do you enjoy cooking?
No.
So when it came to eating healthier meals, was that something that you needed to outsource, like to a restaurant or to someone else, or did you cook more when you needed to lose weight?
I have a mom.
Oh, you lucky fish. Mom was always there.
I'm very lucky.
My mom she loves baking. She doesn't enjoy cooking.
Really?
So mom will try all the healthy, like banting recipes and gluten-free recipes and stuff. But when it comes to cooking, she's like, you are on your own.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did mom help a lot in that?
Mom did help
that journey?
a lot. Outsourcing from restaurants or, the companies that send you meals.
Yeah.
I do a lot of collaborations
Okay.
recently with them.
Okay.
Which was great. But yeah, I don't even really I try not to think about food too much. Just, I will have my meal.
Yeah.
And that is my meal, and we are now done with the meal. Thank you.
But you've managed to keep the weight off consistently for more than 8 years now, right?
Yeah, maybe even a little bit longer. Yeah. But I train.
Okay.
I train. I really enjoy exercise.
How often do you train a week?
It depends. If I have enough mornings, I could go 4, 5. If I'm in that mode.
For an hour?
It used to be so long, but I realized
you don't need that much.
I don't need that much time.
Yeah.
And actually, that much time is hurting me. So I will always do heavy weights. But I also really now love the much gentler Pilates. I like
feeling it in your body. Yes.
I like that feeling rather than the aggressive stuff.
I get that.
Yeah.
So I'm interested then in if you had to coach Pabi from 8 years ago.
Yeah.
What would you say in a nutshell? Pubs, this works, this doesn't work. Stick with this, don't stick with that. For someone listening to your journey and knowing I've gone through this as much as I'm clued up on this. This is what I studied, right? I've still gone through this cycle of, calorie counting definitely also didn't work for me. Initially it did because it gave me a sense of portion sizes.
Okay.
Once I understood the portion sizes, I couldn't keep counting the numbers. That made me feel like I was just like, I can't.
And your stomach couldn't tell you.
Once I had eaten that way for a while, your digestion does adjust.
Okay.
But remember, most of us are under-eating, not overeating. There's very few people that technically overeat. It's usually overeating the wrong stuff, which is low-density type, high-calorie food. So it's easy to overeat on croissants.
Right.
They digest to this much in your stomach, and then you end up eating 50 before you feel satiated.
Right.
Whereas if you have a good salad or a big, nice piece of meat or whatever, you have half and you're already starting to feel satiated, which triggers all of the hormones of satiety in the system saying, okay, we've had enough. But when you overeat on this high calorie, low density type food, you can eat a lot more.
That's phenomenal.
So when you start changing someone's nutrition and they actually need to eat healthy stuff, they end up telling you, I can't finish all this food.
Yeah.
So that's what I would change, right? Is just getting onto more whole foods. What would you then change?
I'd say go see a doctor in all of the fields.
In all of this, yeah.
Yeah, I really, really, really would. I've lost a lot of weight right now because I've been taken off another medication and I'm on another medication. And this is the only medication in the world that has also the side effect of making you lose weight.
Wow.
I can tell you because I've been on all of them. Because I've always gained weight with the medication. And this one
is so different.
It's so different.
Does it make you feel different in your body?
No, I just lose appetite. That's all.
Okay, but you're okay with the way you're feeling physically?
I really am.
Because there's something to be said about when you lose weight. A lot of people don't understand it if they've never allowed themselves to be consistent enough to lose a large amount of weight.
Yeah.
Is you get to a point where you feel good that way. And when you start putting on weight, I don't know, maybe you didn't feel this, but you start to feel like it doesn't feel like you're not in your body.
100%.
And then people might say you're obsessive with your weight, but it's just because you want to go back to that feeling. It's not that you want to get back to a size, the scale, or anything. It's the way you felt in your body.
And the things that got you to that feeling. So I haven't trained for a little while.
Okay.
And I am itching to get into the gym.
Okay.
So my brother said this is the week we are all going together.
Back to gym.
It doesn't matter. And so that helps a lot. It helps not to think about the weight
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain that.
It makes a lot of sense. Like, actually, the more you don't focus on it, it's funny how that's when it actually starts to fall away.
And when I have my joy, when I have my hormones balanced, because, you know, I'm also going through perimenopause, and that's hard for me. So when the balance happens, that's the smooth spot that I want. That's always where I want to be. I don't want to think about, am I this, am I that? I don't ever want to think about that. I don't want to be on a stage hosting a show and wondering if this little fat thing, because she doesn't go away. So she's just going to be there, and now I accept you. You can stay forever. You know, I feel the less I judge my body, the better I feel.
Oh, powerful.
Yeah.
I know you've got to go and shoot your own podcast.
I do.
So Live Fit is about the biological definition of fitness, which is to be adaptable to any environment that you find yourself in.
Love it.
So
that's the thing. That's the panther.
Yeah.
Anything that happens, you're ready to go.
Yeah.
That's how I want to feel in life.
How would you, what singular piece of advice in ending would you share with someone watching to make them more adaptable?
You don't necessarily have to go to the gym. If there's an opportunity for you to take the stairs, take the stairs. If there's an opportunity for you to carry the bags in, carry the bags in. Whatever there is in normal life, if you can just take a little jog from here to your car in the parking lot. Don't park so far. Just tiny things like that really do help in the long run.
Yeah.
And then I think we've got to get to a place where we really appreciate ourselves. Because, you know, there was a time I'd train and I'd say, you've got to get rid of these fat hips. You've got these, oh, look at this big chunky stomach. And it made me so depressed. So I took a gap from training and I came back with, I'm so grateful I have knees that actually work. And now I really am grateful for knees that work, you know? But I turned it around. I had to make it the most positive element of my whole day to get myself into that training space. And I imagine everybody else has a place that might be more challenging for them. But that's what I do. I do a lot of walking up steps. I do a lot of parking far and then walking far because, you know,
it's practical.
Yeah. It's practical. Do some push-ups.
Yeah.
Just push-ups.
Yeah.
You know, do whatever you can with your body so that you are lithe and ready for anything.
I want to drop it in earlier. How are you dealing with perimenopause quickly? Is it something like, what symptoms are you experiencing?
I think I experienced all of the symptoms at the same time. I had extreme brain fog. I was on air and I was trying to describe dominoes. And I kept saying, it's those toys. They're made of, and they have numbers on them. Not numbers, but dots. They're toys with dots on them. And nobody knew what the hell I was talking about. And I got home eventually and I was like, dominoes. And I thought, that's not normal.
Funnily enough, that's a good way to explain perimenopause. It's a domino effect of so many symptoms.
That's not normal, especially for me. My vocab is right here. Yeah. That's not normal.
Yeah.
And then the sleep was affected as well. And I just didn't feel like myself.
Okay.
I felt low. I felt tired. And so I went through a lot of blood tests and I have the best gynae in the world. And Dr. Mseleku said, I've got to tell you, you're right there, babes. So I take a whole host of things to make sure that helps. And maybe that's why I haven't trained. Since that diagnosis, I haven't actually trained.
And maybe that's also why you're enjoying the gentler stuff.
I know that for sure. I know that for sure. But how have you never looked different?
No, babe, I have.
University,
I definitely have.
How have you? What is the secret key here?
I generally have a body that stays within a zone. And I kick into, like, there's something that kicks me back in, like, I can't look this way. Not from a aesthetic perspective, even though I do fall victim to that and I succumb to it as well. But it's just, I know how I feel. That's why I'm saying, not many people give themselves the opportunity to get to that place where you're like, this feels good.
Yes.
This is what I
good and this is
easy. Yes, everything
Yes.
feels easy, and I know when I get too close to the end line, and I know when it's like, okay, this is not me. I need like some curves here, and so I've always generally managed it in that bandwidth, basically. Pubs, I have a gift for you because our show is powered by Salal.
Wow.
So I have some skincare and some supplements that I think relate to the subject that we've been talking about, weight loss and just energy. Arginine, I don't know if you've ever tried any.
No, I haven't.
So it supports exercise performance and also just energy production. And a lot of people separate metabolism, weight loss, and energy, but they're all the same thing. So in other words, when you improve how your body uses energy, makes energy, then weight loss or fat loss specifically becomes a lot easier because it's just another task that your body needs to do, basically. I've got some chromium polynicotinate in here, and then Thyroplex, a thyroid formulation that supports thyroid health. I don't know if you've ever taken anything.
No, nothing ever.
But anyway, that's a gift with some skincare. Pleasure. Thank you.
It's so nice to have sat and talked like this.
I know. Did you enjoy it?
I had a lot of fun.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I'm glad.
And I decided to be extremely honest.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I felt that. Thank you.
Because I can do a PR thing.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. But I appreciated that you, there are nuggets here that's going to help people. And I think that's the more important thing.
I really hope so.
Yeah.
Because I'm being bullied online a lot for my weight at the moment.
And I didn't want to go into the bullying at all because...
But what I want to say to that is if we are kinder and we're kinder to ourselves, there's no need to go out there and be nasty to anyone else. I take nothing personally. My skin is so thick.
Yeah.
Like, try me. But I feel sad for those people going home and if they treat their children that way.
Ooh.
If they treat their husbands, that is that sad thing that's, I don't care what you call me, but I don't know if you can be like that.
Well, I think what also comes to mind is
horrible.
What did Robin Williams say? Like, be kind because you don't know the battle and what people are facing.
Yeah.
And you've just shared now that you put on weight as a result of medication and you've lost weight as a result of medication.
Yeah.
So anyone speaking online about your weight and about how you look,
and
being completely ignorant to the fact that it's medically induced is just, that is ignorance at the end of the day.